I'm fully prepared with everything I need for the Jay-Z documentary. The moment he sent that legal letter, I knew I had to let the world see who he really is. He and Diddy are cut from the same cloth. He just hides his arrogance and control behind a cleaner image. Our feud has lasted 20 years, and I know better than anyone what he's done in the shadows. I even suspect that so-called funeral bouquet wasn't Diddy's idea at all, but Jay-Z acting on his behalf. Back when Nicki Minaj posted that video of him wearing a pink wig, all I did was repost it, and he got so nervous he had his lawyers threaten me. In 2015, Nicki worked her ass off helping him build his platform, and he allegedly pocketed her $7.9 million in royalties. And then there's his fingerprints all over key incidents through the years, whether it's the elevator footage or the guest list at Diddy's parties. He was involved, clearly, but somehow he always walks away untouched. That's what he's best at, pulling strings behind the scenes while pretending to be spotless in public. And now that a corner of the darkness has been ripped open, I'm not stopping. Everything my team and I are doing isn't about attacking anyone, it's about making sure the truth can't be buried by him ever again.
Jay-Z ain't answering the phone?
He ain't answering the motherfucking phone.
Yeah, it's like this, like
We had a black billionaire's lunch.
black excellence. They're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch. You're like,
I hate you, man.
And we here together, and we gonna keep staying together. We getting tighter.
unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year. Yo, I feel like I'm normal again. Get me out of here.
Jay-Z, who is reportedly fleeing for his life after turning 50, has disclosed the contents of his private conversation with Diddy. This is bad news for Jay-Z since he has long been accused of doing some very terrible things with Diddy, and now it's all coming to pass.
Sean Carter aided and abetted or was directly involved. It's about to get real tense, and there's a lot of girls and boys who are still trapped inside the machine.
50 said in interviews that he was never a member of Diddy's inner group. He clarified that he was uncomfortable with certain invites and circumstances in the past, and that the distance is the reason he feels comfortable speaking today. 50 said that he found out about the accusations via the media, just like everyone else. However, he was unsurprised by any of it.
Jaguar Wright explained that Jay-Z is worse than Diddy. She explained how Jay-Z has done worse things than what Diddy did to Cassie to other females. And she said that she has the scars to prove it. She alleged that at one time Jay-Z attacked her and got it on film like Diddy did. And she alleged that this is why Jay-Z is totally pulling away from Diddy and you don't see him around. And it's been alleged for quite a while that Jay-Z is pulling away from Diddy because he doesn't want himself caught in the crossfire. I mean, you even have 50 Cent at this point talking about how Jay-Z is in hiding while this whole Diddy thing blows over. And you even have these accusations of Jay-Z being responsible for what happened to Cassie White. So I'm going to go ahead and roll you guys this clip of everything that Jag had to say about Jay-Z being worse than Diddy. And you guys let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler. And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it. You want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. That Cassie shit, that's nothing. I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy. And they're gonna be crazy. It's gonna be the women that give him in the end.
The focus gradually switched on Jay-Z as the probe deepened. People started questioning why he remained silent while Diddy's situation was developing. Eyebrows were raised by the quiet. Some said Jay-Z's crew wanted to keep ahead of the matter since they already knew his name had been used in legal proceedings. Others were concerned that his reputation was already being harmed even in the absence of allegations. Social media was of no use. There were more rumors than ever, that he was suppressing those who were making accusations against him.
That's actually exactly what Jay-Z's accuser is saying, that even though she dropped the lawsuit, she still stands by what she says, and she only dropped it because of harassment and the fact that she's terrified of Jay-Z. She says that Jay-Z is allegedly bullying her into saying that her accusations were false. In fact, in new legal documents, she is claiming that she was recently approached outside of her home and cornered by two people who told her they were investigators working for one of Jay-Z's lawyers. She claims they tried to get her to sign an affidavit stating that her claims against Jay-Z were false, but she refused. Jane Doe also claims the alleged investigators asked her if her attorney, Tony Busby, sought her out as a client and offered her money to pursue false claims against Jay-Z, two allegations she says she denied. He says this alleged confrontation left her intimidated and terrified, wondering how they found her when her identity had remained anonymous in media reports and legal proceedings. He also claims that her parents were approached by two investigators asking similar questions about Busby and her story. In the new documents, she reveals she decided to drop the claim because she was frightened by the reaction from Jay-Z and his supporters. He says she feared she would be publicly outed and subjected to public attacks.
Industry experts clarified that a single criminal inquiry may have a profound impact on everyone connected to Diddy. That's why a lot of people think the 50s documentary is so important. It is more than one individual. It's about who knew what and who would be drawn in next, as well as how power operated behind the scenes. Additionally, many questioned how Diddy managed to maintain his protection for so long. Some people think he gained authority by surrounding himself with influential individuals and manipulating information as rumors circulated. Diddy may be working with authorities to improve his circumstances, according to reports. It seems that one of those agreements involves his turning on Jay-Z, of all people.
Will Diddy start snitching?
He better. But the only thing I'm interested in him talking about is everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White. See, I know you know what happened, Corey. Diddy, I know that. You and Jay-Z down in Vegas at Tao with Claudia. Why don't you just talk about Kathy? That might help. That might help a lot. Kathy Coriana White, Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died 24 hours after she announced that she was going public with their relationship and the baby while he was married to Beyonce. Was it an aneurysm, Diddy? Or are you the one who paid the same coroner that you... Oh, Diddy, you should talk.
One thing is evident now that the documentary has been formally released. This goes beyond the past. It's about what comes next. Every additional revelation raises awareness of others who remained quiet, including Jay-Z. Because Jay-Z and Diddy have a long history together, this newfound attention for him is very significant. When questioned about Jay-Z's connection with Diddy, Gene Deal in particular didn't hold back. This followed a statement from Jay-Z's attorney claiming that Diddy and Jay-Z were never really close. That assertion didn't add up at all, in Gene's opinion.
How close was Diddy and Jay-Z? They was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball, they wasn't playing baseball, they wasn't playing football, and they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his ass, and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half a homo, but I know I can't say it, but I don't know what kind of half a homo that is, and you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching white girls together. Because when they used to see each other, they used to say, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? He'd be like, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? So, I guess that's a certain type of closeness.
I ain't know anything about that, man. I ain't know about, Jay touching his, ass. I gotta go see the video. I ain't hear about that.
Come on, man. Everybody's seen that. 50 even pointed it out. Excuse me. When they was in ATL on stage. Remember when 50 bum rushed the stage with them?
Yeah, I think I recall that.
When Puff came on stage, first thing he did was pat Jay-Z on that. But I forgot. That's your favorite rapper.
Hey, him and Pocket's 1A, 1B. But what's your issue with Jay, man? I ain't know you had an issue with him.
I'm never a fan of somebody that I was gonna knock out.
That degree of intimacy spoke loudly to Gene. Additionally, when Diddy and Jay-Z were on stage together at a gig in Atlanta, onlookers saw how at ease and familiar the exchange was. The video continued to circulate online even after 50 Cent publicly brought it up. Gene clarified that it had nothing to do with whether or not he was a fan when asked whether he had a personal problem with Jay-Z. He remembered a time in the past when things were tense, but Jay-Z didn't even appear to recollect it afterwards. That's how some individuals at the top work, according to Gene. Because they are living in a whole separate universe, they navigate through circumstances, cause issues, and then forget about them.
That's how these guys are, man. They'll cause situations and cause problems, and then they'll forget what they done because they on a whole nother atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit that he did, you gotta understand, like now he'll say that they're kids because he's raising kids of his own. You understand? But how would you like it that if Blue Ivory, 15, 16 years old, 17, 18 years old, dating in his early 30s? You're not gonna go for that. No matter what she came through in Hollywood. But you gotta understand, guys who was around then, we didn't know Jay-Z them ages. We didn't know these cats' age. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't having no beards and nothing like that. They was wearing low cuts. You understand? Clean face. I would have never believed when Jay was coming around the block, scooping up the young girls and stuff like that he was 30 years old. You know, if they 17, 18, 16 years old and they 22, you thinking they 22, 23, something like that, 24 years old? They mom and them need to check them. They daddy and them need to check them. But that's not that far off. But for somebody to be 30 years old in their 30s and they dealing with kids 16 years old, 17, 18 years, now that's a problem, that's an issue. And now he see that because he's raising kids. And he got a young daughter. I think he got another daughter that he didn't claim and now he claiming them. These cats was doing a whole lot of stuff that people in the industry won't speak on. And then now that you're speaking on it and it's becoming where is that you can get on YouTube and you could talk about this shit and say what you seen or say what you heard, you understand, or what you know. Some people look at it being a problem. But these cats ain't street cats. They entertainers.
Jay-Z's longtime closest buddy, Dame Dash, recently discussed the grave charges against Jay-Z. He was particularly struck by how individuals were responding to the assertions rather than simply the statements themselves. According to Dame, he has never seen Jay-Z come under such intense public criticism. Jay-Z seemed invincible for decades, particularly in the mainstream media. That protection didn't seem to be there this time.
It's just odd to see him in that, getting looked at in that way by white people. Like Jay does, yeah, like I hope that shit didn't happen, but I'm like, damn, they turned the world real. Like people on a certain level have been fucking with him a certain way where he couldn't do no wrong for like 25 years straight. This is the first time he's not getting a pass with white media. Like he can control black media because a lot of them either work or do business with him. you know, but like, you know, Drink Champs can't get him out of this one, and neither can Charlemagne, because you know, those are the guys that hold him down no matter what he does anyway. So he got to get to People Magazine and Entertainment Tonight right now, because they on his head. But the question is why? Like, why now? You know, because for me, I'd be like, yo, that's so ridiculous. Yo, take that to trial. You're not gonna win. Let's get a deposition or something. You know. So I don't know why they on his head so much. Pause. But I never seen him, you know, under this. You know, I never seen him in this position to have to explain himself. Pause.
How you feel about the statement he came out with?
I mean, I didn't hear him say anything. I heard a piece of, you know, like I said, for me, I like, you see, I'm doing an interview, so I talk. I thought it was long. For a statement, I thought it was long, pause. But, you know, I think right now, his silence is the worst thing for him. If he is innocent, he needs to let people ask him questions, and he needs to be able to say his side of the story, as opposed to letting that lawyer.
Dame also took issue with Jay-Z's decision to sever all ties with Diddy, saying they were never friends, in his opinion, was an excessive statement that would probably backfire.
Like, I don't think I would have said that he didn't know Puff at all or wasn't his friend. I thought that was a little extreme. I thought that was the wrong choice of words. I think that's gonna trigger a lot of backlash. But the thing is, I never seen him get backlash at all. So that's what I'm saying. Now he getting backlash. Like, when did you know Jay-Z to be on his heels other than when he got beat up in the elevator? But that was nothing. But I've never seen him under the fire ever. Not in a long time. Not like, I've never seen people on his head like that, Paul. Ever.
Yeah, this might be my first time seeing people come at him like this.
Like I said, I didn't hear him say anything. Like, I'm not some white man speaking for another black man doesn't add up. It just doesn't work like that. Like, he doesn't know what to say on Jay's behalf. Jay would have to say that. So if he instructed him to say that, like, you don't even know if Jay told him to say that. He could have got off the stage and they was like, why'd you say that? He was like, I had to. You know, like, he probably said it because homeboy wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Like, I didn't hear him say anything. I haven't heard Jay say a word yet. Have you?
Nah, I haven't heard him say anything.
There it is. So y'all going by a piece of paper with words, don't get caught up in that. I have not heard him say one thing yet. You know? Until I see him speak, he hasn't spoke to me. That's why I said I don't think he did not say that. His lawyer said it. So what else is a lawyer gonna say? You know what I'm saying?
Dame was most taken aback because, apart from a few rare instances in the past, this is the first time he can recall Jay-Z being forced into a defensive stance. Jay-Z has seldom ever needed to defend himself. For the first time, Dame claims that the pressure is genuine and ongoing. The intriguing topic at hand is why 50 Cent seems to be so intent on exposing Jay-Z. It's not entirely explained by Diddy's past. Tony Yo claims that rivalry and loyalty are the main causes of the long-standing friction between 50 and Jay-Z. Hip-hop has always been competitive, according to Tony Yao. Things may become heated when artists clash and egos collide. However, there are also times when individuals mature and advance. He cited a recent performance by 50 with Dr. Dre, at which Cameron appeared and joined him on stage. They had problems years ago, but this instance demonstrated maturity. Yayo recognized the reasons for Cameron's recent statement that Jay-Z prioritizes commerce above culture. He made the observation that although Jay-Z attended important business-style events, he did not provide the same level of support for hip-hop events that were important to musicians like 50.
And there was this one part where 50 was talking, and he was saying, yeah, when Yayo was locked up, every G-Unit show, we actually put aside the money
Bro, I told
for him. And he had like a, he's like, Yayo had like $1 million.
Right. I just told
home.
you when I came out of my building, I see the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
There was no way I was getting shot there. And this is what I kind of tell you is like, when we was talking about stacks with the Porsche, 50's not gonna let you say, get the Porsche. He gonna say, let's get him out the hood first. You know, if the money's there, but the money has to be there for you to live like that. The money's there. 50 didn't have to do that. Rest in peace to Hervé. from Interscope, because he always said to me, man, 50 do more for you than any artist, than anybody does for their artists, more than Jay-Z. Young Guns is right there.
According to Yayo, approachability is the primary distinction between Jay-Z and 50. Despite his distance, Jay-Z works at a very high level. Conversely, though 50 is equally strong, he still shows up for people. He maintains contact. According to Yayo, artists should always remember those who first supported them. The moment that really stayed with him then arrived. According to Yayo, Jay-Z was against 50 Cent performing at the halftime show of the Super Bowl. He heard that Eminem had to intervene and state unequivocally that he would not perform without 50. That seemed personal to Yao.
Well, speaking of Cameron,
yeah,
he made a statement recently. He said that Jay-Z loves money more than hip-hop. And he pointed out that Jay-Z performed at Tom Brady's Hall of Fame ceremony, but he didn't perform in any Hip-Hop 50 events.
I mean, Jay-Z's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you know, he's like, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay gotta remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy shit going on. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the, you know, the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay, so I think people are just gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you gotta remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I'm like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super
you didn't
Bowl?
know that? Yeah, he didn't want.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some hater shit. Yeah,
I remember Eminem was like, I'm not gonna do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted him there. I don't know.
Because of what, some of the.
I mean,
the back
you
and
know,
forth,
it's competition. You got to think 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the fuck is 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was what, 9? What was
yeah,
that?
But
9?
But after that, they did a song together. Remember
yeah,
the whole,
of course, but 50 was
sneaker
50
thing?
was always competition for niggas. Then remember Jay said, "Yo, 50's coming." He told Siegel and them, and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You got to remember, he came after niggas. He came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came, and people might shit on G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro. Yeah. Nobody has had the effect.
Yayo was also informed by record executives that 50 did more for his people than many powerful individuals ever did for their musicians.
He says to people, he goes into boardrooms and says to people, which I will never say, is he says, it's important for me to be a billionaire, you know, because Black people need to be billionaires. And why does specifically he, at that time, I've had this conversation with white money people when they go, you know, it's important that Jay-Z becomes a billionaire. And I go, why? And they said, because he wants to open up a casino. You know, he wants to open up this, he should have an alcoholic brand. He needs to have a casino. He needs to have this. And you're like, why the fuck does anybody need a casino? Like another fucking casino
money
in this world.
And it makes it very possible for people to launder money all day.
Yeah. So like, why, even the fact that you want to become so powerful, then you're not saying because he needs to build schools for Black people in Black neighborhoods. It's because he wanted to build casinos for Black people.
For them to keep wasting their money and then for him to keep
selling
them overpriced merchandise. It's a rat trap.
Yeah.
All of it is. The sad part is that hip hop has now turned itself over to this greed machine and doesn't realize it's time to unplug.
According to reports, Jay-Z and Diddy's friendship began to deteriorate over time. Some in their immediate vicinity claim that trust became a problem and that there were worries about who may defend themselves in the event that anything went wrong. Although it is still an accusation, Jaguar Wright has even said that Jay-Z was involved in Diddy's demise behind the scenes.
Why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next. Who you think?
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
Diddy's former chief of security, Roger Bonds, offered his own insight on the inner workings of that relationship. Although Roger seen Jay-Z and Diddy interacting, he never believed that they were close. He said that Diddy thought they were closer than they really were.
I believe Puff felt they was close.
Oh.
But if you was a person on the outside looking in, like me and Uncle Paulie used to always talk about it, me and D-Rock used to talk about, yo, why Puff kind of like sucking Jay off so much? You know what I'm saying? Because you'd be like, we done flew to 5 or 6, 7 different concerts that Jay-Z has. But Jay-Z is not at one of Puff's shows. You know what I'm saying? You look at the Rock brunch where Puff will break his neck to get to the brunch. But Jay-Z don't pop up at any of Puff parties. You know, now I can only speak up until 2012. You know what I'm saying? And Puff was breaking his neck. Like at the end of the day, in our mind, we say, yo, he ain't even invite Puff to his wedding. When he married Beyonce, Steve Stout and all of them was there. You know what I'm saying? And Puff was kind of in his feelings, but once again.
Oh, Puff was upset he didn't get invited to the wedding?
Of course he was. Oh. You know what I'm saying? But you got to remember, we're security, so we're bottom on a toe pole. So he's not going to show you that it really affects him until you have a little conversation with him, or you say something, or you overhear something. But he didn't get invited to that, you know. Yeah, Jay came through every once in a while. Like if we was in a yacht in San Tropez or one of these places like that, Jay might ride up, you know what I'm saying? And it's more or less to show, yeah, I got a yacht too.
Diddy's teammates often observed that Diddy was far more present for Jay-Z than Jay-Z was for Diddy.
All the time, I mean, Jay ain't really with Puff. It was no personal into it. It would be like if Ron Burgos is flying from LA on his jet, but Jay-Z just so happens to be going to New York too. We all end up on the jet flying back, those type of things, but nothing to go out his way into. If we in a club, you might be downtown at bed or something like that. Jay-Z might be there, so they end up at the same table, you know what I'm saying? And it was times where I listen to the records now where Jay-Z said, yo, why should I drink Ciroc when why should I drink Grey Goose when Puff got Ciroc? This is something new that just started happening because I remember we almost got into a big altercation with Pecos and them because...
Sean Pecos?
Yeah, because Puff was there and Jay and them was there and they had a bunch of Grey Goose bottles come to the table. And Puff felt like, yo, that was disrespectful. And he knocked over the Grey Goose bottles, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
I think I heard about this.
Fuck y'all niggas doing that for, yo, da-da-da-da-da-da. But Jay didn't care, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and Pecos came back to the house and explained himself, da-da-da-da-da. You know, I was eavesdropping and airdropping, you know, because like I said, Puff is always ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Emery had just came home and this, that, and the other like that, and they ordered Grey Goose bottles. Now, why you got 10 Grey Goose bottles coming to the table if you know I'm right here at the table and I got Ciroc? So there's a lot of different things that don't add up.
He thought Diddy and Jay-Z were never as close as people thought. They did not share allegiance, but they did share wealth, power, and space. And eventually, it was difficult to ignore those fissures. Is it possible that those fissures will now grow and engulf them both? Tell us in the comments section below.